Nazgûl, sometimes referred to as the Ringwraiths, are one of the most fearful creatures in Sauron's army. But how were they created? Let me take you back in time. If you like our videos, subscribe to the channel and write a comment. It helps us create better and better content. Around the year 1200 of the Second Age, Sauron, in the form of Anatar, Lord of Gifts and Emissary of the Valar, infiltrated the elven community in the Eregion. His speech about bringing a fraction of Valinor's beauty to Middle-earth particularly appealed to the Brotherhood of Jewelers, also known as Gwaith y Myrdain, which was led by Celebrimbor. These artifacts are, of course, the Rings of Power, and work on them began as early as the year 1500. By 1590, 16 rings had been created. Sauron then went to Mordor 10 years later, and he forged his own ring, the one to rule them all. He did not know, however, that in his absence in the Eregion, Celebrimbor forged 3 elven rings, untainted by evil magic. As soon as Sauron wore his one ring, the owners of the 3 elven immediately saw through his evil intentions and did not intend to simply give their works to Sauron. In anger, the Dark Lord declared war on the whole race. Unable to pick up the Ring of Power after kindness, Sauron gathered an army. This lasted for nearly 90 years. During this time, Sauron trained his troops and continued to recruit new soldiers. The Dark Lord set out from Mordor at the end of the 17th century of the Second Age, and in 1695, the filthy creatures passed through Calanadhon to southern Eriador, from where they continued northward toward the Eregion. As soon as Sauron's troops crossed the border of the Elven Kingdom, messengers were sent to Lindon. The elves of Lindon in a hurry sought to organize the defense, calling for help from their friends in Númenor. Sauron, however, did not wait for the elves to gather, and he attacked the capital of Eregion, Ost in Edhil. The streets were running with blood. Only a few lucky ones managed to escape the power of Sauron. Celebrimbor made his last desperate resistance on the stairs of the guild building. He was not killed, but captured by the orcs of Sauron. During the terrible torture, the elf confessed the location of the 16 Rings of Power. The location of the 3 rings given to the elves remained a mystery to Sauron. Celebrimbor dies loaded with orc arrows, and his body later serves the army of darkness as a banner and proof of their cruelty. The ruler of the Eregion was then impaled on a stake and was carried as a warning to Elrond's army coming from Lindon. Despite his subsequent defeat, Sauron was able to regain 16 Rings of Power, 7 dwarven and 9 for the people. We do not know most of the names of the rulers to whom these rings fell in later times. All we know is that 3 of them were to go to the Lords of Númenor, 1 to the Witch King of Angmar, and 1 to Khamûl, the leader of the Easterlings. The trustees of the 9 rings were to become very powerful during their lifetime. They were kings, sorcerers, and warriors. Their lives seemed endless, but they soon became unbearable. With the passage of time, the rings caused the ring bearers to begin to penetrate into the invisible world, initially only partially allowing them to see additional things, but the longer they surrendered to the power of the One Ring, the more they were able to see additional things, the more he influenced them. Soon, they all turned into ghosts. Their activity in the Second Age remains a complete mystery to us. All we know is that they were, and they first appeared in 2151. Another mention appears only during the War of the Last Alliance, when after the defeat of Sauron, the Nazgûls hid in the darkness.